Northern California resident Tina Watson may have posed as your typical public bus driver, but in the end, she proved to be much more heroic than what her job title implied. Tina had her regulars, the people she made daily small talk with on her familiar vehicle. Some became her dear friends. She was just a friendly person with an ordinary job, and she expected nothing more than to drive people where they needed to go. But on what seemed like just another day on the job, Tina was maneuvering her scheduled bus route when a young man and a child walked on the bus together. Tina had never seen them before, but thought nothing of it at first, until the two sat down. While keeping her eyes on the road, Tina observed the somewhat odd behaviors of the two. She assumed the man was in his mid-20s and noticed that he seemed strangely distracted, but it was how he treated the kid that worried Tina. They sat toward the middle of the automobile, and the young man visibly attempted to restrain the restless child, who then started crying. Though she'd seen young kids cry on the bus on several occasions, something about this situation felt off to Tina. While Tina quietly observed the little boy through her rear view mirror, she saw blatant fear in the child's eyes, something not of a typical temper tantrum. This was a dangerous situation. Tina knew it in her gut. As Tina's bus drive continued, so did her worry. She couldn't help but continue to look at the duo from her safe distance, hoping the weirdness in it was all in her head. But nothing would reassure her, because as the ride went on, the youngster wouldn't stop crying, and in response, the man, who seemed to become increasingly more anxious, urged him to stay quiet. And it wasn't just that she noticed the passenger's behavior was odd. Tina thought that something seemed familiar about the situation. She just couldn't put her finger on what it was, but then it hit her like a ton of bricks. She suddenly remembered a news story she had just read that morning regarding a missing persons report. The newspaper disclosed that a 3-year-old boy had been missing from a San Francisco library. She then tried to rack her brain for more details before she proceeded doing anything. See, Tina Watson is a mother of 2, so she possessed some maternal instincts. While she didn't want to assume anything too soon, she also felt that she needed to save this child if she truly was who the police were desperately searching for. Tina concluded that the only way for her to be more sure of her intuition was if she were to get a better look at the frightened boy. But how could she accomplish this investigation of sorts while driving the bus? While Tina did her best to remain calm and appear as unbothered as ever, she noticed that the man seemed hyper-aware of his surroundings, as if he was looking to get off the bus. Tina had to act quickly. She confidently made an announcement, saying a previous rider left behind a green backpack. This was obviously a lie, but Tina implied this backpack was of great importance, which gave her an opportunity to stop and check the bus for the bag. While Tina scanned the bus and passengers cooperatively checked under their seats for the non-existent backpack, she got a close look at the distressed little boy, who astonishingly donned the same outfit as the boy on the news, which included a pair of unmistakable red Crocs. After the failed search, Tina went back to her seat, ready to continue driving, while also devising stage 2 of her now animate plan. Since the bus engine was loud enough to cover up Tina's hushed voice, she cautiously reached for her phone and dialed 911. The police gave Tina strict instructions on what to do in her vulnerable position. Although Tina was as nervous as could be, her complete determination to save the kidnapped girl outweighed her vast fear. Tina anxiously went about her route, planning to go to her next scheduled stop as advised by the authorities over the phone. They assured Tina that police would definitely be there waiting. When they arrived at the stop, police swarmed the bus, having covered both of its exits, anticipating the man and girl's departure. One by one, the bewildered passengers evacuated the vehicle, until finally the suspect emerged. It was him. The police immediately pried the poor girl from the kidnapper's arms and arrested the man on the spot, despite his petty struggle to squirm away. The 3-year-old was smart enough to understand what was happening, so she grabbed onto the hand of one of the officers. The girl's parents were joyous that their sweet daughter had been saved, and it wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Tina. The girl's family, as well as police officers, were beyond grateful for her act of bravery. Tina Watson then became a near celebrity. She was interviewed by several TV stations, written about by every news site under the sun, and even threw out the first pitch at a San Jose Giants minor league baseball game. Tina lived by the see something, say something mantra, and she was not alone.